How many
Yep.
Good to go? Yeah. All righty, so we will get started with the pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Adjustments to the agenda. We are adding AP warrant number 27. Anything else you guys have to add?
Something on the cemetery. Treating the cemetery.
Front of Pine Grove.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Treating the cemetery?
No, a tree.
No, a tree in the.
Oh, a tree in the cemetery, sorry. I'm like, what are we treating the cemetery for? Okay.
We'll add that as E under new business.
Okay.
Yeah, wherever you want to add it.
F under new business, I'd like to add the Halloween walk. Old business, H, would be the Town of Canton Sewer Department Accounting and Office Operating Policy. We just need to sign that. If the edits from last time are okay with everybody. And also strike the ACO absence protocol, as Carol's still working on chatting with the Livermore option to figure out how we're gonna go about it, whether we need to have a contract agreement or if we can just do it on call or whatever. So she's still waiting for info on that.
Okay.
Anything else for? Someone? All right, approval of the minutes from our regular meeting on September 28th.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second for the minutes from the 28th. All those in favor of approving?
Abstain.
All right, old business, old school update. Do we have any new info on the school project?
I did reach out to Phyllis just about the historical society, if there was any interest like there, and she said that if we wanted to present something to the board there, that they'd be willing to put us on the agenda to talk about it, but obviously we need to figure out from the town what we're gonna do with the building, but and then I reached out to AvCog again, and they're still working with DEP a little bit, trying to figure out if there's still some way that the town could qualify, just because of the how bad a shape everything is in, so.
Yeah.
It's not completely dead yet, there's still a teeny tiny hope, maybe something will come through.
Do you remember if, when we had that meeting, about the grants and our ability to qualify, if, 'cause I know they had mentioned the nonprofit,
Yes,
and that would be a
They did.
workaround. Do you remember if there was any stipulations on getting it back, or what the red tape would be, if it needed to be a certain month of time, or if it could just be,
so they never talked about the specifics that I
Okay.
remember, the only specifics were that. In order for a nonprofit to take it over, or anyone to take it over, it has to have a phase 1 assessment done again.
right?
Because you only have a 6-month window from the time that it's completed, and so we're already out of that window, so.
Yeah.
That was the other question that I asked them was, what is the cost, and would whoever took it over, there'd be some leeway there. So again, trying to get back with DEP and see where we're at with that, but it's a process, so. So that's all I had.
Sounds good.
Yeah, the only thing I'll add is, as we talked earlier, I'll try to get the drone up to get a look at the roof, see what that condition is. Hopefully this weekend, but we'll see.
Be interesting to see. Like I say, I have some from when we did the bicentennial parade that I found, so it doesn't show a lot of the roof, but it shows a little bit, but.
Well, that
Yeah.
would be interesting to see, like,
The
what's the
difference.
best 3 years? No.
Almost 3.
almost
Yeah.
3.
Yeah,
So that-
yeah, should be,
See the comparison,
yeah, so I thought it'd be interesting to see how much
Yeah.
has changed over the last couple of years.
yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to see the
Yeah, 'cause they
difference.
couldn't even sample on the roof because it was too dangerous.
Unsafe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So. Yeah. And that was before all the rain.
Yeah,
It
Yeah,
was last
true, yeah.
fall.
yeah, it was a year ago.
They said it was
Yeah.
unsafe.
Yeah, so you figure through the winter and then like say all the rain we had
Yeah.
spring and summer, that
Mhm. Yep,
I'm sure has made outside and inside even more
Yeah.
interesting.
imagine.
All right, Edmonds Road and Hayford Court complaint follow-ups.
Scott has been in contact, actually went to go check out both places. And he had drafted a letter up to send to the owners of Hayford Court, which Angie, I believe you sent that out by certified mail.
Yep.
And the Edmonds Road one was cleaned up according to what we had asked for. But there was still, you know, if we wanted to follow up about, the junkyard statutes. Yeah, we had gotten pictures of both properties.
So
Okay.
it was okay by what we asked, but not to his standards, or what he thinks. needs
exactly.
to be done.
Yes. I mean, it was okay by what we asked and that the road was cleared. But it was still kind of up to not meeting the, statute of Maine junkyard, standards.
So basically, the only thing you can do is civil matter now.
Right.
So, yeah. In terms of that, is what he said.
Yeah.
That process.
Is he violation of the ordinance?
Right.
Right.
Mhm.
And honestly, if we're going to pursue that, we need to pursue a lot of others in town.
Yeah.
So I guess that's a decision that we're gonna have to talk about and make at some point is, are we ready to start following up on those? Because there's, like I say, we can't just pick out one and choose one and let,
Yeah,
when we have multiple others throughout town that are meeting that same junkyard issue, are we gonna allow it to slide on all, or do we need to? I think at some point we need to go ahead and take care of it and follow up,
I
to make
think,
everybody conform to what they need to.
right, I think we have an ordinance in place. My opinion is we need to get a list of the properties that are not in compliance with that ordinance
Mhm.
and follow up with them.
yeah.
Or we update the ordinance. One or the other.
Well, and right now, the ordinance that's running is actually the state's
Mhm.
junkyard ordinance, not a town issue, so it's.
Right.
Yeah. I think it would be. I think it would be good if Scott would do. A ride around town and just note those properties that he feels are.
Yeah.
In violation, and if he can get that information to us, then we can go through it and see. Excuse me, see where they're at and draft some letters and see what we can do.
Mhm.
I think that's good.
Can we get a copy of that ordinance, so you can see what our,
Yeah, he lists it in one of our emails. I'll forward his email chain to the board
Okay.
so that everybody has that. 'Cause I think it was just Angie and I
I
that.
say I didn't see
email, yeah.
anything, so.
Yeah.
just so we know what legal enforcement avenues we have.
Yeah.
I can't remember, it's been
Yeah,
a
Yeah,
while.
a while. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll forward that change to the board. It has all the pictures, the letters,
Yep.
everything in it, so.
Good. Yeah, great. Anything else on those two?
I'm glad we got one. That's good.
Yes, yes, texting and email is best form of communication, so, yeah,
Did we ever hear back from our health officer?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so that's another contact that we'll need to work on.
mhm.
Good to know. Comprehensive plan update, Diane's not here yet. Robin, do you have
We
a plan update?
waiting on Diane to finish typing it all up. We've started looking at solar ordinance because there is a company who very strongly wants to put one in up above the trailer park,
Mhm,
the old gravel pit.
I heard about that one.
Yeah, we got a picture of the layout of it and all that, so. You know, obviously, it's gonna take a bit to get it. An ordinance figured out.
Mhm.
So has that company come to the planning board? Is that how you know about it?
They come to Diane.
Okay.
So the process hasn't officially started yet, but, okay,
Which obviously the process for writing the ordinance and for
Yeah.
them.
mm-hmm,
And as far as they've not gone to the state or anything yet.
okay,
And then the dog sled people. Have gotten a permit for a bathhouse, septic, whatever.
Mhm.
And they plan on being in this one.
That's what it
They're
sounded
already
like.
building.
mm-hmm,
I'll say that's what it sounded like the last time they were at the market was they were moving forward.
He
So
only has $97, I think.
it was somewhere around 100, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
All of them?
them?
Are they all gonna be staying there? That's like right across from me.
I was gonna say, that's
Close to me.
be prepared.
It's close to me.
They've got 200 acres and where the dog house, I mean, it's.
Kennel.
Where the kennel's gonna be,
Yeah.
State consider them people
yeah,
is in the back part of the property.
Mhm.
out towards the swamp then.
That's what they told me. It's gonna be back there. You probably won't handle it, but, I
Yeah.
mean, how many dogs did you say?
97.
97.
Usually when one starts barking, it gets them all going.
Yeah.
Well, she said usually they only carry on like when it's feeding time.
Mm-hmm,
And they've got 2 or 3 people. full-time working for them.
mm-hmm,
Mhm.
So they've come a long way since last year.
yeah, it's a full-time operation.
Oh, yeah, but
Mm-hmm. Even when they're not like, even when there isn't snow on the ground, they're still running those dogs
Yeah.
and training those
Yeah.
dogs.
Really? I
Mhm.
was curious about that. If they do like
Yes.
this. or something.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Huh.
So on the comp plan, Christine, have you heard anything from Diane on the ag section?
I haven't, no,
Okay.
I haven't got anything, so, yeah, I don't.
Can you- Robin, can you follow up with her again? Because I've asked her a few times
Just have a
to
template.
get me something and we
Yeah.
would definitely work on it, but
it needs, yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I know she,
Cause she's asked me a few times, I said, well, you said you would get me something to go by and I
Yeah.
haven't received anything to go by yet, so
Yeah.
I can't do a lot until, I mean, I can come up with something, but I was kind of hoping for,
Yeah, it'd be nice to have something to
Yeah.
look at.
isn't she out of town right now?
I think she left Toronto. I'm not sure where she was headed.
I know it was a whirlwind of a work trip,
Yes.
that's all I know.
Yeah.
So I don't know if she's back here in Canton, Maine.
not a problem. I was just thinking, just so we, the sooner we get something, the sooner we can figure out how to make it flow with the rest of it.
Mhm.
Figure something out. All right, personnel policy, PTO time. Anybody had a chance to pull up some options or come up with some options?
I like what Tom was talking about last meeting, Um. But I don't know.
I guess. We're pretty generous with. Vacation time, even if we convert a little. Take a little paid time off away, convert it into sick and add a little bit sick to it. Is that what the plan, or what you was thinking, or?
I really hadn't, other than thinking we needed to add some paid sick leave, that was really where I was going at. Beyond that, I wasn't.
I'm not against that.
I know Carol had talked to, Andy and had, a write-up of what he used to have, but I don't know what that, I don't know what it was. She didn't bring it to the last meeting. She forgot it.
Yeah, I don't.
So I don't know if that was. I don't know what that is. I don't know if we
Did we
want to
get
agree with
something
that.
from like, would Russ have anything from Jay and what they do at the town over there?
I can look back through my notes from at home, because I know we looked at Jay's when we redid the personnel policy the last time. So I probably have it. I can look back through my stuff, and if not, I can ask him. Yeah, we can look into it and see.
Or definitely whatever Andy had at Livermore would be interesting just to compare where those are at.
Mhm.
I will reach out to both, I'll have Carol get me the stuff from, excuse me, from Livermore, and I will ask Russ if he can grab the stuff from J-Town office sometime and send that to me as well. That way we can compare and go from there.
Decide at the next meeting.
Mhm.
Stop in to the town a little more, probably someday next week, I can ask. If I'm there.
Mhm.
Hold on, see it.
That'd be great.
It's there.
Carrie is there, Carrie Steinway is their town manager, I
They
think.
Livermore,
Yeah.
Livermore Falls.
She does live more. I might be wrong, I have to look it up, one or the other.
Okay, anyway, when I pop in, I'll ask,
Mhm.
just inquire.
Okay. All right, so we're still working on that. All right, foreclosure update.
I have a list, there's 6 left from the 9 that went out. Yeah, after a minute.
Yep. So this is, they had a 30-day.
Oh, foreclosed.
Foreclosed one that's complete.
So we own these properties.
Correct.
Now, I don't know what you've done in. Past few years, but back we used to, once we're officially foreclosed on them, they got one last letter to pay in full, or else. That was the end. I don't know if you still want to try to do that.
Yep, that's what we've done the last few times that I've been involved as well, is once everything's officially foreclosed on. The property owner gets a letter saying, you know, your property is now owned by the town of Canton. You have until X date to pay in full.
The
To-
total amount's not a partial, it's
Yep,
the total.
and there's no payment plans.
Right,
You get X amount of time to pay in full, and then if not, we will move forward.
Right.
With, selling your property, or our property.
right.
I think that's fair.
Yeah, no, I think that's fair.
Well, one thing we have to look at is the people who are 65 and older, because that's a little different process.
Oh, yes, yes,
Yep.
yes.
There are a
We-
couple in there that.
Yeah, but we still can send that letter
Mhm.
saying that, you know, you
To
have
get
until
that.
X date to, and I think we should get that out as soon as possible, is, you know,
So
you
that's
have.
been done before, so I can go back and maybe find something.
It has, I would imagine there's a template in there,
You want
I would
65
say-
and older if that's their primary residence, correct? Yeah.
Couple weeks or November first would be 2.5 weeks.
That's fine, by
Either
November
way.
first, that gives a clear date.
Yeah.
Is that, as long as that's not a weekend,
It's a Wednesday,
okay,
Mhm.
and the other option is you give it until the third, which would be the Friday, but. Either way, either November first or third.
well, the first is. Beginning of a new month, so.
Yep.
Makes it easy to,
Mhm.
that'd be my
Yep,
suggestion.
works for me.
So what,
We're,
we're giving them what?
Paid in full by November first.
This topic in reference to the 608 Julie,
I
is that one of them?
don't know the addresses on these.
Yeah, I don't know
Just
the
listed right
addresses.
now, so.
But I'm guessing probably. You know,
I don't know their addresses, so
Yeah.
all we have in front of us are the account numbers.
I guess that's why I'm here, is like, what is the process, like, when you guys own it now, like, what happens then?
So,
Cause I really
so,
want it, it's like right next to that, I want that land.
what we do is, it's gone through the foreclosure process. We officially do own it. It's foreclosed on by the town. What we've done in the past is give them one last chance to pay entire and full
Right.
by November first, or else then we go about,
and then in the past, the way we've done it, yep, is, and I think it's actually in. One of the articles at town meeting that the town basically gives us the authority to take tax acquired property and sell it.
Do they
So we
actually
put-
know that this is going, I don't think that, I think they're oblivious to what's even, what you guys are doing, because. The kid was there a couple of weeks ago, he's there banging around and. In the junk, it's a junk, like one of the junkyards you're talking about, that's what
Mhm.
that's what it is, you've seen it.
well, those notices go out certified mail, right?
Yep.
Yep.
So.
So they've had.
Yeah, but they don't live
They-
there, they don't live there at all, so.
It goes to whichever their mailing address is.
Mother owns it, she's on the deed of the town, but
Mhm.
I think. Whatever you sent to is probably the wrong address, is what I'm saying, nothing on you guys, I'm just like, they're probably oblivious to what's going on.
The certified letter goes to the owner of the property.
Right.
So if
Again,
the mom's on the deed, then it would have,
Then she
even
would
if
get it.
she doesn't live there, it would have gone to where she lives.
So because I mean, she picked up the mail, though.
Yeah, that's true.
but that's
Do-
against the
It
mail.
will be returned, yes.
But did we get any return?
Do we have the
I
return
don't know,
receipts?
We would keep those, yes, absolutely,
so-
it would be in their file.
Right, but have we got any return
Specifically, I don't
receipts?
know, right
Okay.
off if that's.
I guess my other point for being here too was I just wanted to find out what the process was,
Mhm.
because I didn't have a number for her and I don't know. Oh, I did have a number for her, but I don't want to reach out to her, 'cause I was just gonna like offer them the money. for it. But I probably shouldn't do that now, because then they don't own it anymore, right? I mean, that's what I'm confused about, does that?
So as of today, the town of Canton owns property. They will.
If it's
receive-
one of these properties.
Yeah, if it's one of these listed here,
I
like I
will
said, I don't,
find out that, if it's one of those, like,
we'll have to have, Angie will have to look up the account numbers, because like I say, we have the name, people's names in front of us, so I don't have.
you
um,
have their names, you said?
I have the names in front of me.
We have the names of the
I got
owner
their
of
names,
the property.
names,
You're welcome to
Yep.
mention a name.
Donna Walker and Brian
It's
Hodge.
on there.
It's on there.
Mhm, that property is
Yeah.
listed, yeah.
Yeah, like I said, I really think they're oblivious
Mhm,
to that, because apparently they haven't paid taxes since they acquired one, from what I read online, and
okay,
when,
so.
what's your name over there again, Angie told me yesterday.
Yeah, so basically, like I say, once they receive the letter, they'll have until November first to pay it in full. In order to keep the property. If at our next meeting that has not been done, then we will move forward with, normally the way we've done it in the past, is those properties go out for bid.
Right.
For sealed bid, and then
What
we'll
is it?
set, we go out for sealed bid.
What does that mean?
So basically, we'll say, we have X property that has, 2 acres on it, and this is the amount. That's a minimum bid, and you would come in, write down on a piece of paper what your bid for the property is, put it in a sealed envelope, hand it to Angie. And then
Where
at the
does
next,
that go out to, like the whole state of Maine or just the town here?
it'll go out on, on our Facebook and website and, on the counter and,
Yeah, it's open.
It usually
to
gets
anybody.
put in the
Anybody
paper.
can bid on property.
Right,
yeah.
right, I got you.
yeah, yeah,
Now,
they
what
usually,
about the mess that's over there?
That would be the new owner.
that would be the new.
Yeah, and I'm good with that,
Yep,
I just want it, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
yep,
But the kid was there, like, say I see him over there again, should I say anything to him, like, hey, you don't even know that anymore? But like I said, he's oblivious to it, he has no, they have no clue. That's where I'm at. I'm like, do I call her like tomorrow? 'Cause I wanna see what happens tonight. Do I call and say, hey, Donna, what's going on over there? You know what I mean? And offer her the money, but they don't own it.
You could talk to her if you wanted
Because
to.
she has till November. to
Right.
pay Off the taxes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
She's like 1,028, I think, Nancy told us, nothing, right?
You may negotiate a purchase deal with her, and as long as the taxes are paid into this office by
Right,
November first, whoever pays it.
and that's the thing, I even offered them already money to buy it. And it's like, now you're gonna lose it, you've already lost it, I'm like, just straight up friggin' idiots.
Kim, you had your hand up?
That was kind of like what I was asking, what the process
Mhm.
was, and how do you find out when there is land that you guys have taken and up for bid?
Yep.
I've never seen anything about land up for bid, and I know you guys have.
It's been a couple of years since we've done it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a few years since we've done it.
So it'll be advertised and.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, usually we try to put it in the paper and just say,
What land are you looking at?
Once I find out. what's
Just
available,
check it out.
Yeah, well, big you one.
I have one, it's like,
Where do you live?
I'm not telling you.
Oh,
Yeah,
you live up in Georgia? Yeah, you know, I don't. Of the legal thing.
Yeah.
I wanted that since I moved there, like I said, I wish I knew the guy was selling, I would have bought it. With the guy that sold it to them. And I don't even think they even paid the guy off all the money, but they owed him. From my understanding, so it's just a mess with those.
Mhm.
It's been a nightmare with those people, that is like. Hopefully coming to an end.
If she does decide to do that, please make sure it's in writing, because just if you pay for
Oh, I'm
it.
not gonna get rid of money unless everything's.
Right.
well,
I don't have an attorney.
and the other thing is too, what we're foreclosing on right now is just the 21 taxes. There's more owed than
Oh, I
just the
know.
number that's here on this
I know there
paper,
is, yeah,
so that's,
that's about the time they said they bought us, they never paid taxes since they owned it.
Yeah.
Which, yeah. I understand, they never could hold a job, so I'm gonna get it. Phil, I don't mean to be talking bad about them, but it's just, you know. My mama said, call a spade when you see it, you know what I mean, I'm like, man,
yep,
So they'll have until November first.
yeah.
If you wanna talk to them in the meantime and try to work something with them, that's up to you. But after November first, at some
Like I
point.
said, I really think they're oblivious to what's been going on, the kid thinks he owns it. The son, you know,
Yeah, I haven't seen anything there in quite a while.
he was there a couple weeks ago banging around,
Really?
I took pictures of it, it's a total mess, it's like, you've seen it. But- Okay. So when do I find out when like the auction happens?
like I say, we'll discuss it at our next meeting on November 9th.
Whether or not that will be-
Yep. And at that point, it'll be discussed in terms of when. Things will be going out for bid.
in 2 meetings.
The-
Our next meeting is the 26th.
You're right, 2 meetings, sorry, because that'll be the next meeting after.
Yeah.
The only thing is,
November 9th.
yeah, the only thing is with that, I know I will not be here on the night. And I don't think you will either, so we'll have to make sure that the two of you and Carol can be here, or if not, we'll have to reschedule that night.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That was both meetings in November.
Well, and we also need to. Well, we wouldn't have our second meeting in November anyways, because that would be Thanksgiving, that's on Thanksgiving. That's something, that's
You
on.
don't wanna have it on Thanksgiving?
I know, right? Nobody wants to have pie.
That's right.
Well, I know,
So maybe.
so that's something we need to discuss anyways.
So, yeah, why don't we look at rescheduling the November 9th meeting like ahead of chance? Not ahead of chance, I can't speak right,
Time.
ahead of time, yeah.
So I'm gone from the 9th until the 19th.
Huh?
I said, pretty similar to your schedule, I think you're gone longer than I am, actually.
Yeah.
I'm not on the 19th.
Good.
Election
Oh, that's
night.
election day.
Yeah, election day is on the 7th, and I have another meeting on the 7th, I wouldn't be.
So I may be able to pop in for election day, but
That's, yeah.
I'm gone from the 6th to the end of the month.
And probably the second is too close to the previous meeting, or that doesn't.
I mean, we could. It would just be. Like I said, that would be the week.
Well, that would
It'd be
be,
the week after our meeting on 26th, but it would be after the due date,
Yeah.
It
so.
would be after the due date, and I would be okay with coming in on the second.
I mean, it'd be nice to deal with that, 'cause otherwise it might get drug out until after the first of the year.
Yeah, I mean, if
Yeah.
we're just meeting on that, we don't have a lot of stuff.
If
it'd be
we
a
met the
short-
week before,
Yeah.
it should be,
And at least we'll still get our meeting in November.
Right.
the one thing we'll need to do though is we may,
It just might butt up against the planning board.
well, I said we may have to figure out. If we have to, we can add another meeting at the end of November,
Oh, okay.
just to,
Oh, because Thanksgiving's early.
Oh, yeah,
yeah,
because the
that's the thing,
30th
there's another Thursday after that.
is 5 Thursdays.
Yeah, that would be the hard part is leaving November with having a meeting on the second and then not another meeting for the entire month.
Yeah,
And we could still have 2 meetings, the second and the 30th.
because the 30th would be that odd week where planning board wouldn't meet, right?
Yes, the fifth
Right.
Thursday. of the month.
Unless they have an additional
No.
meeting for something.
Yeah, if they have a like
Yeah.
workshop.
I'm okay with that.
I'm fine with that too. I could do both the 7th and, I mean, not the 7th, the 2nd and the 30th.
Okay.
Yeah, I can too.
Are you guys changing
I
your
can't do
November
30th.
meeting date?
Sounds like it.
I think so. It
Yeah,
hasn't
well-
officially changed yet.
The first meeting in November will be on November 2nd,
Okay,
instead of November 9th, it would be on November 2nd. The last one will figure out between now and then.
I'm putting that in my calendar now.
Thursday, the
Thursday.
second, Thursday.
Thursday, the
2nd.
2nd.
Oh, I'm sorry, yeah, it is, I'm sorry.
Yep.
November 7th is on a
My
Tuesday.
Yeah, I have to do that too, or else
Yeah,
numbers all blur together.
yeah.
I can't take mine off where everything's blurry.
So we will not be meeting on November 23rd.
So that's Thanksgiving.
Okay.
Or the night.
Or the 9th.
Or the 9th.
All right, perfect.
If you decide to be on the 30th, which you were talking about,
Rather decide that on the second.
That one I'm not sure I'll be able to be to, but you guys are welcome to meet. I say you're welcome to meet without me, but I'm not sure I can be there that night.
You won't know.
I'm on call, so if I get called, I'm
Yeah, it's,
gone.
yeah,
It looks like just when we're looking at the calendar, it looks like we're good for December this year, because Christmas actually falls on Sunday. So, or on a Monday, I mean, so we're good for the 2 meetings in December. Those 2 nights look clear,
That's good.
so we're good with that.
yeah. Now that we're getting through the holidays.
Mhm. Alrighty, so we will revisit foreclosures again on November 2nd. And see, hopefully by then there have been some payments come in and,
Yeah,
Go for
hopefully
now.
there's nothing sure.
um,
No, I hear you.
Hopefully we don't have to go through that process.
and I think I'd like those letters to go certified as well, just to make sure.
I actually will send them both because sometimes they see certified, they don't want to get up.
Yep, that's fine.
Mhm.
Where can I see the other property, the other 9 at? Does Angie have those in the office? Okay. Coming to see you, Angie. I'll bring some coffee.
They were mine. They out of my lane.
All right, the fiscal year 22 draft audit. You guys had a chance to review that wonderful reading yet?
Oh, gosh.
I skimmed through it. It's hard to read.
It's great bedside reading.
It is. It's hard to read on this.
Yeah, no, it takes a bigger screen than that to read it.
Mhm.
That's why. It was still hard to read. It just. One page looks just like the next,
They do.
Yeah,
They do.
and there's fine nuances that I don't understand, a lot of it, but I didn't see anything glaringly out of order.
Yep.
yeah, same. I mean, I didn't see anything glaringly out of order. And a lot of things get lost in translation with me because there's a lot of things that I'm like, But- I didn't see anything screaming at me that it was. Like, why this or why that?
Mhm. I reviewed a lot of it. I'm not quite ready to sign it yet because I'm still. I have a question for them on one of the reserve account balances. I don't have it with me. I have a highlighted copy at home. But that. I just want to make sure that's correct before we go ahead and officially sign off on it.
Which reserve?
I was just.
It's the bicentennial / event committee reserve.
Okay.
That one that got transferred from one to another. I also have a question on the cemetery reserve, because that number doesn't look quite like I thought it would.
Okay,
So there's a couple reserve ones that,
okay,
other than that, the rest of it looked okay. It was the undesignated number looked about right where I thought it would,
Okay.
figuring, looking at 21. Taking away what had been spent, so it should give us the 22, it looked about what I figured.
Okay.
So that looked where it should be, but the reserve account ones, I just want to double check on before. We're good, but the rest of them look okay.
While we're talking about this,
Mhm.
and I have not come across it in the audit yet. I don't know if you have, but the money that was. From the transfer station that got put in a different account and was supposed to get moved. Did you see that in there?
It wouldn't be in that one, it would be in the 20. That one wouldn't be until the 24 audit,
Okay,
because it was done at town meeting this year,
okay,
so it wouldn't actually show.
so
until
that's
the
not in
next
this one anyways, all
Right, yeah,
right.
it wouldn't show until the next audit.
I know I've been trying to look for that and I haven't come across it yet, so.
Yeah. Yeah, no, where that was
Okay.
just done at town meeting this year, it would be in this audit.
All right,
So it won't be in the 23 one that's coming, because that would have been from the prior year, but
okay,
yeah, it should be in the next one.
thank you. I'm gonna stop driving myself crazy looking for it.
Yeah, no, that would be in the next one. All right, so we'll do some more looking into that. Policy F3, did you guys take a peek at that? The only thing we changed was, changing the warrants to be done weekly versus twice a month.
Mhm,
Yep.
That look good and okay?
yeah,
All right, we will find one copy. No, I don't, that's what I thought. Mine's a little cleaner on this one versus the first one. All right, we'll move on to new business, special town meeting article discussion.
Oh. Do we have to do a motion to accept that?
I believe we motioned last time.
yeah, I think we didn't.
This said you were going back to make the changes. You would bring it back to the changes started with.
Then I need a motion.
Okay, I make a motion to accept the updates made to the town of Canton and Canton Sewer Department accounting and office operating policy.
Second.
All those in favor of the updates? Opposed? Okay. Right, special town meeting article discussion. Inch.
You guys have to vote with questions. Start with the special town meeting. So I know from last year, we did 3 articles. One was to choose the moderator, which they have to do anyway. Article 2 was an actual amount from undesignated fund balance, and the Article 3 was changing the dates. Or a date.
Yep. The first installment, date.
Correct. Mhm.
But you know that, we just don't know the number. That would be
right?
to go.
And then from last meeting, you guys have the scenarios from the tax rates.
Right.
From O'Donnell.
I would rearrange it, and put the moderator as one, the dates as two, and. I'm. Not comfortable pulling that up on designated until we see the 23 audit. Or at least have a solid number from the 23 audit.
When are
What's
these,
the projection for that?
Well, I've asked for the undesignated fund balance from him and he is short staffed. Which he actually spoke at the convention and the whole panel, to include the state, was talking about how short staffed everybody is. And actually towns are behind, there was one town that's behind 12 years in audits because they can't find an auditor. So,
oh my goodness.
So if we know. The
So
auditor.
I tried to get that prior to this meeting.
Yeah.
And he said it would be a couple of days.
Cause last year. Had to use an estimate, we didn't have a solid number at that point either. To work with.
And you used 75,000 last year.
Yeah.
Did that come
You know
from,
what we were carrying forward? Carry over?
I haven't discussed that yet. We haven't decided on that, until we're waiting for the audit as well.
that account, is that the windmill? No,
No,
No, sorry, I'm doing math. I have different numbers than what Paul has.
what do we believe to be in that account,
Which account?
the undesignated fund balance?
If you look at the 22 audit, they have. Unassigned. For 2022. Unassigned. 1 point. Just over 1 mil. 1.04.
You guys, I gotta.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank
Cal.
you.
Thank you, guys.
Would you say 1.84?
1.08.
1.0, sorry.
That's what's listed as undesignated.
Okay.
So just over a million,
So-
basically, minus 75,000, minus. The what was it that was taken out for 30,
36 for the car.
Yeah.
yeah, that's
so-
what I think of the number.
For Canton Mountain.
Oh, yeah, can't, yeah, for the road.
Yeah.
Canton Mountain
There's
Road.
that, then didn't the international come out of? Did it come out of there, or did it come out of road, highway? Reserve? Okay. So it'd be, so basically take 100,000 and change, 110,000 out of it,
Just under.
so it'd be 800 or 900. You said 8, that would be conservative.
So what did roughly? I know at one point we had roughly what you're gonna carry over, I can't find that number.
We talked about carrying. Well, if you looked at where. Roughly 200, I think.
Right.
It was either that 200 could either go into undesignated fund or we could carry some of it.
I'm sorry, what was the amount carryover that you were talking about?
I don't know, I remember one of the first meetings, I think there was a number. That, you know. I know Carol was showing me a paper for the highway,
But I think highway had about 60,000 left in it. Or 68, one or the other.
right, but I thought there was a sheet that we got that had total.
In July, I'm thinking.
Must have been July.
I am a little curious though, because like I say, Paul's number is different than on the calculation sheet is different than what I have. We approved at town meeting.
Is his number more or less?
His number is more.
So if we go with the less, then we're being conservative.
Mhm.
With the total appropriations, you mean?
But his school payment is more than what I have for my school payment.
Well, then,
That's still
see,
very
this is
careful.
why numbers drive me crazy. I'm looking back in meeting notes, Ron, for
Yeah.
what you're talking about.
I know we had it at one point, and I can't seem to find it.
Currently, we're at 17.5,
What's
Oh,
that?
yeah.
our current rate,
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
17.5, yeah,
Mhm,
17.75.
mhm.
yeah, so even if we use 100,000, we're still. Way up.
But. I thought about this,
Okay, what are your thoughts?
whether that 200,000. We're gonna decide whether we drop it into undesignated balance or carry it over. Either place it goes, that's $200,000
Mhm.
Mhm,
that you can either subtract from appropriations.
mhm.
Or increase the undesignated balance.
Right.
And if you took 50,000 out of the undesignated balance. Not counting that 200,000, depending on what we do with it. That can, if I figured correctly, that can give us a mill rate of $18. The ones goes up a quarter.
So you're taking, you're saying basically use 250.
Right,
Yeah.
whether we take the carryover and dump it in undesignated balance and then take it right back out,
Mhm.
Mhm.
plus 50, or.
I would think that would be the cleaner way to do it, rather than carry forward from a whole bunch of accounts.
Well, of the accounting wise, I think it'd be easier.
Yeah, for sure.
Because otherwise you've got to do a bunch of carry forwards.
Right. As long as we have that, we're confident that 200,000 is left unspent from last year.
Right.
Although it will be a little bit less because we carry forward the website
Mhm.
amount.
Yeah, that one's already voted for,
Right, so $5,000.
Yeah, it was 50.
5 and change, yeah.
Still, it's not gonna change that much.
Right.
No, it's not,
Dramatically.
no, it's
Right.
not 250,000. I don't think it's gonna change that number dramatically, no matter like how we look at it. Especially with the money that we're talking about carrying over, we can, just like you said, put it in that account and.
It
Take it
goes in,
out.
it comes right back.
Yeah, exactly.
Well. I'll pay for it, comes back out.
Angie, our monthly right now. Payout for payroll and AP roughly 220.
Monthly?
Yeah,
Yeah, I would say.
so
I found where the truck, or the Canton Mountain Road was 36,557.06, and that did come out of undesignated.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So we, by state statute, law, recommendation, whichever it is, we're supposed to keep at least 3 months operating capital, so we've got to keep at least 660,000
which was-
in undesignated funds.
Right.
So we would be, if we took
We'd still
two
be
fifty
above
out, we should still be okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Because in reality, we'd just be taking 50,000, because that 200 is already sitting there.
or close to it.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
and one of my questions for Ron is, so there's been a couple things in the last 2 or 3 years that we have said the town has voted to take up to a certain amount out of the undesignated fund to pay for things. The up to, so that money gets set aside as designated,
right.
but if that money doesn't get completely used, like for the fire truck or for other things, if that doesn't completely get used, is that still sitting in the line they have in the audit called designated? Or does that get bumped back to the undesignated file? So that's one of my questions for him, is there still money sitting there as designated that no longer needs to be designated?
yeah.
Yeah,
Cause that would help our undesignated line, if that money that's not going to be used for things that have already been purchased and it just came in less than what we had thought.
mhm.
Could that money go back to the other line now? That's,
That would be
which could help us,
It's a great
On that dollar
question to
figure.
ask.
in hypothetically, what is that number? I don't remember seeing that, but
Yeah,
it kind of.
it would be under a.
You have to be of a legal mind to interpret some of those things.
I agree.
yeah, there's a lot there to unpack.
I believe that would be what falls under committed,
Right.
so it's 62,000,
Not a,
but whether that's,
not a time when it would cover the 50 you take out.
but like I say, that. Same exact $62,000 figure was in the 21 audit and the 22 audit. So what is that 62,000 hanging there for is my question.
Right.
Yeah, that's a great question.
I don't
And that would
know.
cover the $50,000 that you want to add.
So I will, I have Ron's email here in my thing somewhere. I will reach out to Ron and see.
So you're going to do that?
Yep, I'll reach out and ask Ron the question of, committed versus unassigned, and is there things in committed that we could take out of committed?
Oh, does it state?
Mhm.
Yeah. Because like I say, if it's for purchases that we've already made, then that's not needed anymore.
Right.
But, so I'll look into that a little bit, because I also need to ask him the question on, that we kind of put off from last year's town meeting about, the windmill funds.
Mm.
And getting that straightened out and back in the right place.
Yep.
So I need to ask him that question anyways.
So what's our timeline at this point for like special town meeting, when the notices have to go out, when we have to have all this stuff? Cause there's days, right, like things have to be posted,
Well, the town meetings,
the special.
yeah, in 2
In
weeks.
2 weeks,
So we gotta figure this out.
but like, yeah, getting the notice out and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So the posting for these, I believe Angie is 7 days prior. Yeah, it's a 7-day, because it's just an open.
So we
excuse
need
me,
to
just an
figure out
open
our
meeting.
number.
So
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah,
let's do that. We're already having a work session. Next week.
It is on Tuesday.
So if we have those numbers. And we can finalize. These numbers. Does that give us the time to meet the,
how long do we have to make a decision on the
It has to be
question?
posted within 7 days, so you guys have
Okay.
to sign that warrant.
So we would have to sign it at our workshop.
It would have to be
Session.
signed Tuesday night to be
Tuesday.
posted Wednesday morning.
That's kind of close.
What time is that work session? Didn't have that much
7.
time. Oh, that's right.
That's the 7 o'clock fun night,
7
yes.
o'clock one.
Yeah.
Good time.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Michelle.
Sorry. Sorry to everybody.
It's all good.
The other option is we.
With. Okay. With the numbers that we have now. I think I would feel comfortable with a number of 250,000, like Rob had suggested.
And that based on the sheets that Paul gave us,
mhm,
That's the same.
puts us at $18 if I've done the math right.
right, so it would go up 25 cents, you know, so what it is now.
Right.
Was 17.75.
So I know last year when we were talking about stuff, we were concerned that if we didn't break it up enough, we would have one of these humongous ones, you know, the next year. Do we have big concerns? I mean, we had a huge increase because of the schools this year, right? That was our biggest issue.
140,000 just in school.
So I mean, should that level off a little bit? I know we don't know for sure, but do we have any idea, like, because we took the big hit this year, are we?
Well, the other towns
I
that
don't
took,
know.
Yeah,
We should be close to the high year, yes.
yeah.
Whether it's this year, whether it was this year or next year, I don't
Did
know.
they say that like year 7 was the peak?
I can't remember.
well,
It's been so long now since we talked to them.
so surrounding towns that have dealt with, in our
Mhm.
district, that
Yep.
have dealt with this.
Carthage dealt with it for a while.
Right,
Yeah.
so how many years did they deal with the super highs before they started leveling out, do we know?
I would have to ask. I know they're going back the other direction now, I know that,
Yeah,
but I don't know how many years they were at the highs.
Cause I mean, I definitely agree. I'd like to keep it a very, as little of an increase as we can, absolutely,
Mhm.
especially this year.
but I also don't want us to run out of money too, and,
Right. Which are always-
and then everybody get slammed.
But it does seem like our numbers are, there's a pretty good cushion there, if things are
Yeah.
accurate.
My only concern is, and I think it's a good idea to use some of that because, you know, even if we keep 3 months operating capital, we're still a couple 100,000, 250,000 above that. But my only concern is if we use that, what do we do next year?
Right,
If we get hit with, you know, instead of $140,000 increase from the school, we get $100,000 increase from the school. What do we do at that point? Because at that point. I mean, we had we had a lot left over in the budget last year, but we also cut the budget this year.
Mhm,
So we shouldn't have that amount left over this year.
mhm.
Because the budget, our town budget went down by. I mean, it's not, doesn't sound like a lot, but our town budget went down by, well, it actually went up because we increased it for cleanup.
oh yeah,
It
it's pretty close to,
right, the overall request for town meeting until we got to adding in the cleanup was down $1,100.
Yeah.
But
potentially, we could have similar carryovers, but obviously we don't know what we're gonna have.
I would
Coming
imagine
up.
we have less carryovers
Plus carryovers.
would be. My hope would be we have less carryover because we were tighter with our budgets,
Mhm.
because we shouldn't be taxing more than what we need.
Right.
Mhm. Yeah, I guess that's my concern too, is I don't wanna see people, like say next year our classes are super high and. When we don't have the money to make up for it and. That falls on the taxpayer.
What was the wording?
Go ahead.
What was the wording, Ange, on the amount taken out of undesignated from last year for that question?
To see if the town will vote to authorize the select board to appropriate up to 75,000 from undesignated fund balance.
That was my question. That's why I was curious about how it was worded in terms of up to or if it was capped.
Don't have a loan or two that's getting paid off this year. One. At least one.
Not that I know of. I don't think so.
Yeah, this year.
This year, the loader lease was done.
Okay.
We got rid of that one this year. Staples Hill, I believe, goes for a few more years. The road bond goes for a while, and the fire truck, I believe, still has another couple payments, I think, doesn't it? I think.
Sure.
If we wrote the question as up to 250, if we could get an answer by the meeting on the 17th, we could change that. Or, and actually, as long as we have a number before the special town meeting, it can be changed at the special town meeting as long as it's worded as up to.
Right,
Mhm.
yeah, and just at this, at the meeting beforehand, we'll just say, hey, we're really 200,000 is being carried forward. Which we're really only asking for 50, not,
So it wouldn't be 250 because carryover is part of their calculation in there. It's not undesignated fund balance. Carryover is separate
correct,
in that. So if you're gonna do that, you have to do your carryovers, which doesn't have to be voted on. Just you guys vote on it.
right, but what we were saying, instead of doing carryovers, dump the extra into undesignated balance. So it would go into undesignated
Gotcha.
balance, but actually,
Instead of taking that
So
two
no
hundred
line
thousand
item
dollars.
Carryovers.
Right.
Yeah,
No line item carryover, any carryovers other than the one that was already voted on. Just the website this morning, because that's the one that's been voted on.
because I think that would make it a lot harder to try to. In the accounting, to carry over, rather than just dump it all into the remaining balance. And then take it out as a whole.
I think that, yeah, that's the way, a much cleaner way to do it.
I think it would be easier
Easier to read from our standpoint when
to,
we're
easier to
looking at,
explain.
easier to explain, yeah. No, I agree, and easier as far as
Accounting,
bookkeeping.
I'm trying to remember if the article has a number in it, even if it says up to, doesn't that make it a capped article that you can't change the number?
I thought it gave you flexibility.
you
Well,
can
I'm
drop it down, just
You
can't
drop,
go
you
up.
can't go above.
Yeah, you can't go
That's
above
what I
that.
thought it was.
Because like all of
Because
our,
last year we weren't sure, so that's why we did that wording,
okay,
so.
I'm just checking, because like all of our articles for our normal money is to see what sum, if any, the town will vote to raise it appropriate for X. It doesn't have a number in it.
So can we write our question like that for the special town meeting? To see what number,
Or do you wanna go up to 250,000?
no,
So,
Right,
You would want to be below.
can it be what number, if any, up to 250,000?
I would say write it as a capped article at 250 and go with that, I guess.
up to 250.
And then a motion can be made to drop that if we, between now and then, find that there's only 200 instead of 250. That we feel comfortable using, and we can use 200.
Mhm.
That works. And I think we may want to just double check with Paul on the municipal appropriation number and the local education number. And hope that. That way we can just verify what we had. Approved. The number, like I say, the number that I have is a little bit different than he does, so I just wanna make sure.
The school one came from me, which would have come from what we have to turn in when we pay them.
Right,
So that.
Yeah.
That number that's there is what I gave him.
yeah, what about the town one? There's like,
Line item.
the town budget total I have is just a touch different as well.
Yep, that was, the total amount with all the additions. We also had social services that increased as well.
Yep,
Right. We may wanna just run through those and just double check them. Just to make sure. But we can do that between now and then.
Is it a huge difference or what?
Not a huge difference, no, but it's a little bit higher, which I'd rather it be the other way. Because if it's higher, then we're taxing more than what we need. So I just wanna make sure it is correct, that's all.
Yeah, good.
All right. So we have. An article. Or 3 articles for town meeting.
we have to make a motion for that, or no?
No, because we haven't signed the
Just
warrant.
that.
We have to
Oh,
wait
you
until
gotta sign it.
it's drafted and we sign it and
Okay.
then. And we can sign it to be posted and all that happy stuff.
Sounds good.
All right, committee bylaws for out of town residents. We had talked last time about looking into the possibility of adding something to our committees, like our rec committee, that's having trouble getting members to see if. Because right now we have a couple coaches who are out of town. Did you have a chance to look at any wording on that?
No.
Okay.
No, I'd have to go through, pull the emails where that was emailed to me.
Is it in the rec committee now that says just town resident?
I don't think
Or is
so.
it-
If it's like the others, then yes, but that one is.
You have them?
Huge.
Mm,
Yeah, I don't have an issue with some out of town people being on committees like the rec committee where the kids come from out of town, but. Some other stuff that is strictly town related,
Mhm.
that wouldn't be.
The
Right,
one we were talking about last meeting was just rec.
Just
department.
rec.
Yep.
Yeah,
it was
just rec.
And it was mainly, it came up because one of our coaches came in to get something before the meeting started.
Oh,
And they've done. The 2 soccer coaches have done a lot. Or I guess they're coaching together, but they basically ran the soccer program this year and they live in Hartford, so. But we're just looking to see if we could make sure it's set up so that they could, it's land use.
and they've done a lot of coaching on baseball and soccer,
Mhm.
and their kids are part of our town sports.
yeah, I don't have any
I don't
issue
have the
with
rec
that at
one in
all.
front of me.
Yeah, I can't. find
I have the
it.
others, but I don't have rec. So we will add that to our next meeting, just to bring it back and continue to work on it.
Angie, when you get a chance, can you email out the file? I know you did at one point, I just can't find them. The bylaws. Thank you. I think it was like over a year ago. Yeah, find them.
All right, server discussion.
Well, it's past end of life. October 10th, so we are now no longer having, security updates. On Microsoft.
Ooh.
One of the last meetings, we were waiting, we have the quote from WG Tech. They will support other, servers being bought somewhere else, they will support that, they did ask. So just the server alone would be $8,965. And they're giving us a deal because they, through Dell, the same exact quote, the same exact, setup for the server could be, it's pretty small. $13,474, the normal price for that, the setup. And they're giving it to us for 8,955. I just need to know, I need direction, where you want me to go.
Is this a yearly or just a one-time?
One
time.
time.
I am going to defer to the.
The IT guy?
This means nothing. to me.
I mean, when I'm looking at the prices, it logically makes more sense. It makes sense to go with WG Tech's $8,965 over Dell's $13,976.99.
Brian, what are you thinking?
Give me just a second, I can tell you a little more. I think, I'm curious why there's such a discrepancy between those two prices. But I can tell you more in a second.
The thing that concerns me, just scanning this, is it says on-site installation declined. I don't know what that means. we bring that up?
I haven't gone up and looked at it yet, but I've heard about it.
Well, those tall trees are in that cemetery are. They weren't very good shape when I was hauling it. Years ago,
Yeah. Said 875 was the quote.
that's what, yes,
She said it's dead or?
dying,
It's on its way out.
and I don't know where section 1 is, I assume it's probably the.
Robin?
Section 1 is on this end, right?
Is it this end closest to the road?
Yeah,
This end closest to the road?
no, that's, no, it's.
Second and
second
third
from
up.
the road, Second from Lori Cox's house.
I know one of those trees doesn't look very good. It's like, well,
And then there that don't look good.
I know,
And Red Oak does a great job. I mean, I've watched them and God love them.
they've done work for me, so.
And they've been the ones that have done most of the work for the town in the last couple of years too.
Well, don't worry, they never broke the stuff. I said before,
Um,
I'll make a motion to. Was it, it's in the cemetery account, I assume?
we come out of the Pine Grove account.
they're on the cap.
Okay,
Yeah, let's have the,
to remove a dying tree before it comes down?
Mhm. I'll second.
No, never mind.
I have a first and a second to go ahead with Red Oak for 875 for the tree in the front of Pine Grove. Coming out of the Pine Grove Cemetery account. All those in favor? Opposed?
I'm sorry, who's seconded it?
I did, sorry.
Sorry.
Next on the agenda is the Halloween haunted trail walk. Um. So we've kind of gone back and forth on this and Rob and I talked real quick about it today. I think we're gonna take a year break from the haunted trail walk. Just because of. The two of us don't have the time at the moment, there's a little, few too many things going on, but then also,
Probably still wet down there.
well, and that's.
Yeah.
Nobody's really gone in and walked it or dealt with the trail this year because of all the rain that we've had, and that's the wettest end of it.
Mhm.
So and we haven't heard back from the drama kids either, so
Mhm.
kind of putting everything together, I think it's probably gonna be best. And we've already moved the trunk or treat to the boat launch anyways. But I think we're probably better this year just to go with the trunk or treat and. You know, reevaluate haunted walk next year when we can actually, hopefully things will dry up enough so we can get to the trail.
Or hopefully we won't have such a wet summer, you know, yeah.
Yeah,
Because when you first go in there, it says, yeah.
Yeah, but that
trail
were
slanty, kind of
terrible.
going down.
Imagine.
Bloody end up floor.
Blood.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Makes sense.
Yep.
Okay.
Makes sense to me.
all right.
So all of you are gonna do a trunk.
I'm doing a trunk, yes.
What night is
I
that
would do
again?
a trunk.
The
It's
20,
the 28th from 4:30 to 6:30.
I need to ask Jason. About the big flashlight.
I think he's planning on it, but it wouldn't hurt to touch base with him. Cause you guys used it last year,
Mhm.
Yeah.
We used it last couple of years.
Yeah.
yeah,
last
sent
few
the
years,
pad
yeah.
out we used.
right?
Yeah.
Isn't how bright that thing is.
It is, it's crazy how bright that thing is.
And I would request Paul Moisen to bring it. He's a lot of fun.
He said he was ready for something from the tree
Perfect,
at our last meeting, so I touched base with him.
he did a great job the last time.
Yeah, he did great last year. It was awesome.
He messed with the kids, but
He does.
Every once in a while you have to, so. Alrighty, takes care
Yeah,
of
touch
that.
base with him. I know you, at our last meeting, we were talking about when it was.
he's always. He's another child. That's-
Any
I
other,
can't disagree.
any other business to discuss tonight?
I had one thing that popped up. So last year, we were really late talking about Sanford seniors, and that was something that we wanted to do. We never got it accomplished because it was just late. So we're in October, I think we already have the buckets, so like that piece of it is taken care of. But we need to figure out what it would look like and how, if we wanna make it happen or not.
Who's gonna deliver the sand is what we,
Yeah,
where we
that
left
was-
off last year.
Yes, but I do like the idea of it, like concept, if we can figure it out.
Yep. Yeah, I think where it got left last year, when you guys talked about it, was who's gonna deliver it
Mhm.
and how do you request it?
Yeah,
That would be my questions.
So if you wanna draft up something and some ideas and
Mhm.
bring it back to us, we can.
Okay.
Yep. I think it's a great idea, it's just a matter, of we just have to figure out
right.
how to make it happen.
Kyle's donated.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Like,
Where are they?
they're,
half of them are at my house and half of them are at Carol's.
So you're gonna deliver?
And Mom May.
them?
Not I wanted to-
Well.
Robin, can you help us define what a senior step, cause you, I mean, it's not age, it's not age. I know, that's what I'm saying, it's not age. You won't qualify for it.
Deeper hole.
I know, you're giving her the death stare.
Yeah, I'll try to find what we had from Rumford and Jay.
Yeah, that's right, we did have something from Jay,
Jay.
because Russ, yeah, Russ and that Jay did that, so.
I mean, yes, seniors, but also
Disabled,
Yeah,
Yeah.
disabled, yeah.
Yeah.
or health compromised, or, yeah, anything to
you gotta
those.
figure out a nice way to say it.
Yeah,
I thought you had something from surrounding towns that did it.
I don't,
Yeah, because Rumford has done it for quite a while, that's where I got the idea, and then Jay started it, and I
Yep.
talked to the town manager, Jay, last year.
I
we
can't
just
remember
need
how.
to revisit it and figure it out, so,
Mhm.
but, yeah, I'll definitely, I
Mhm.
can work on it with you, Robin.
Yeah, if we can get some info on it, I think it's a great, I mean, if we can make it happen, I think it's worth
Yeah,
putting the time into.
Mhm.
And any other business? Ian, do you have anything?
No, elections, are gonna come, but there's a lot of different packs coming in now, so a lot of reading.
Yeah,
Already
that-
have absentee ballots on them.
that's what I was gonna ask.
Yeah. A lot of them.
Crier, where are we at with that?
I will have to try to find and see what she's done, I don't know.
I believe it was almost done from what I
Okay.
heard when she got done, I believe it should have been almost
See
finished.
what I can find.
Yeah.
When was that gonna, when are you gonna try to get that out, or?
Usually goes out in October sometime.
I know, but. When, because. I had something that wanted to go in it, and I don't remember what it was. So I'm just trying to see how much time I have to think about what that was.
Can you include this report in the town crier? On the
The health of the lake,
health of the lake?
that was only gonna be the other thing I had to mention with other businesses, I got a letter from Tom Hamilton that has their summer testing health of the lake overview that they give us pretty much every year. So you each have a copy to review and. Yeah, so great information on where we're at with the lake. Moving on to approval of the warrants, AP warrant 27, 136,979.25. Payroll warrant 25, 8,708.73. Payroll 26, 5,758.21. Motion,
Make a motion to approve as read?
okay,
first and a second and third,
Did you include the agenda adjustment one, 27?
Oh, no.
Yes.
Oh, you did?
Yep.
Okay,
yeah, I read that one first. Because that's the only AP warrant.
I didn't hear.
I have a motion and a second for the accounts payable and payroll warrants. All those in favor? Opposed? Okay. And public comments. Robin, you must have comments.
Been a alright meeting.
I tried. We try.
I think she gave it at the beginning, if you don't throw gas into a culvert.
Yeah, that's true. Committee reports. Rob,
My only question is, you must be coming up to Lake Drawdown. Coming up,
I believe they've already opened one gate.
have they?
I think I saw on Facebook that they've opened one gate to help with some sewer stuff.
Okay,
Yeah,
I
I
know
bel-
it's coming right up, but
Yeah,
I just didn't know either way.
I wanna say Malcolm Ray posted, about it because he was, giving everybody the heads up, like, if you like to take your dogs out when the water is high, if you wanna take your dogs out when the water is low.
Yeah, I know he does that, but I'm.
I don't know,
Facebook,
yeah,
I don't see any of that stuff.
you're not on Facebook? Good for you.
Don't Find me on anything, if it is, it's not me.
Somebody pretending to be it. I do believe that was it, but I don't remember what the dates were.
Always seems to be right around the 1st of November-ish.
Was that
something
on
makes me
Friends of
think it was
Lake,
October 15th, but,
Oh.
It was a picture of the old,
yeah, I'm trying to find it.
The only thing else I have to say is that we have our meeting next week, Tuesday, with FEMA reps. Coming around, trying to get all the stuff needed for that.
October 16th. I found it. So they're gonna begin the Winter Lake drawdown on Monday, October 16th.
So next month,
Mhm. And then it will be down to the winter level by the weekend of October 21st. Okay,
Rob, how's all the culvert replacements and stuff that you guys are doing, like, that Andy and then we're working on, like, where'd they make it with that? Are they done with them, or?
I would have to check, but I think they're done replacing what they're going to for this year or this fall. Cause I noticed. At the end of last week or the first of this week, they went through and put coal patch down over
Mhm.
the ones that they had replaced.
But one on Jewett Hill was pretty bad, so that's good.
Yeah, they went through. I think all of them,
Did they? Nice,
and even some of the older ones that had
That
sunk a
started
little.
to sink.
nice.
I have a question too. And I don't know if you know anything about it. I know that. Before Russ left, he had gotten some quotes on some gates for the transfer station,
Oh,
but I don't remember where that was left off, and I don't know if you know anything about that.
I know
Okay.
he's mentioned the gates before, but, I think it's gonna take a lot to straighten out what's there. I just gotta get time to get up there and look at it,
More than just the gates at the,
or at least for this winter, make them use them, if we're gonna do anything with gates,
yeah,
I would sooner say do it after plowing than before.
right.
Um, But I think some of the, or at least what he's talked to me about of them tipping a little, I think it can be adjusted. To work better for him.
I think if it was something, if we were going to do anything new, I would like to look at sliding gates instead of opening. doors,
Mhm.
Just to make it a lot easier for plowing and stuff like that, just to, but if we can straighten what's there, then we can straighten what's there, but.
At least until after the snow melts, yeah, and then kind of figure out from there
Yeah, I'd just assume not replace anything.
before
before
snow, right?
snow.
Yep, no,
Right.
I'd rather wait until after if anything needs to be replaced.
No, I was just curious, that thought came to mind because I remember us talking about that before, but I wasn't.
He
Sure.
mentioned it to me in passing and. It seems like Carol had mentioned something to me about gates, but
I know they had met with somebody, but I can't remember where they left it at.
I don't know either. But
Mhm.
it's certainly something I can look into.
How do you clean up that?
We had a lot of trash.
I don't know what the exact count was.
Because they, we used up all our dumpsters.
I believe we went over what we were planning on, yes.
See, we need it every year.
Once the bills all come in, we'll,
Okay,
It
done.
was lower than 8,000, 6,700, something to that effect.
That's good.
Mhm. And I do agree, we do need to have a cleanup every year.
It's actually in that warrant.
okay. I haven't got through it all yet. I just got to the first page.
Have you guys talked about plow truck, like, I know there was a lot of work done this summer, like, are the plow trucks in pretty good shape for?
I
you
saw
guys?
they were inspected, because the bill for the inspection was in there, so.
Nice,
I think as far as I know, everything's ready to go.
yeah,
Did they have the international clutch looked at? I know when it came back, the comment wasn't needed to go back up and have the clutch looked at, but.
Well, I think at the time, and I haven't talked to Andy in a week or two. Maybe more, but, Morrison's said to give it a little time, to
Yeah.
see if whatever wasn't
That was the last thing I had heard. was-
right, and I don't know. I don't know if they've driven it since to try to work something through or
Yeah.
not.
Okay.
I'll find out.
Yeah,
I got nothing.
Christie,
nada.
Angie,
Nothing at this time.
Wait a minute. Everybody's got nothing. I had to ask them all.
we're all getting to that point where, all right, any board questions or comments?
Oh, we need to figure out what we're gonna do for interviews.
Yes,
as
we
far as
do.
Times,
Yep.
do we? Are we sending out another poll for next week? Because obviously this
Uh,
week is shot.
I was gonna say, once we
I mean,
we can pick a date when we adjourn, we can pick a date for interviews.
Okay.
Yep. All right. There is no executive session. Can I get a motion to adjourn?
You got it.
Second,
Second,
all those in favor? We are adjourned at 7:41.
We have to get some.
Sure.